A few weeks ago, we looked at how a neighbor's tip about a white Hyundai Elantra helped investigators zero in on a suspect in the Idaho murders case. But some viewers questioned whether Bryan Kohberger is really guilty, pointing to missing evidence, unanswered questions, and even conspiracy theories about a wrongful arrest. In this video, we break down the evidence investigators say proves their case, the loopholes critics point to, and why Bryan's guilty plea shocked so many people. Investigators built their case against Bryan Kohberger step by step, and it started with a single piece of evidence. In the bedroom of one of the victims, police found a leather knife sheath. On the snap of that sheath, there was DNA. When they tested it, it matched DNA from trash taken outside Bryan Kohberger's parents' home. This was the lead that changed everything. From there, detectives dug into Bryan's cell phone records. They say his phone had pinged near the victim's house multiple times in the weeks before the murders, almost like someone was watching the home. And on the night of the murders, the phone went dark for several hours. When it finally reconnected to the network, it pinged again near the crime scene. Security cameras added another layer. They captured a white Hyundai Elantra circling the neighborhood repeatedly that night, and speeding away just after the killings are believed to have happened. Investigators traced that car back to Bryan. When police finally searched his apartment, they seized black clothing, a glove, a flashlight, and bedding with stains, all sent off for forensic testing. Piece by piece, the picture investigators built was clear: DNA on a sheath, a car matching his, a phone that went dark at the exact wrong time, and a suspect who lived just 10 minutes away. But even with all this evidence, some people still question the case against Bryan Kohberger. The biggest gap? The murder weapon was never found. Investigators recovered the knife sheath, but not the knife itself, leaving room for speculation. Then there are the surviving roommates. They were inside the house during the killings, and one reportedly saw a masked man leaving. But no one called police until hours later. For some, that timeline raises questions. Defense attorneys have also challenged the DNA evidence, arguing it could have been transferred indirectly, or even contaminated before testing. And finally, the car evidence. The cameras captured a white Elantra, but never the driver, meaning prosecutors still have to connect the car to Bryan beyond a reasonable doubt. There was also the pressure of a public trial. This case had captured worldwide attention, and every detail of Bryan's life would have been dissected in court. A guilty plea ends the case quietly. No trial, no appeals, no cross-examination of witnesses on live TV. For some, this plea is the final piece of proof that Bryan was guilty all along. For others, it leaves behind unanswered questions that a trial might have finally settled. So, is the case against Bryan Kohberger airtight? Legally, yes. He confessed, pled guilty, and will spend the rest of his life in prison. But even now, some believe the unanswered questions, the missing weapon, the delayed 911 call, the lack of a trial, leave room for doubt. What do you think? Was the evidence strong enough to convict him, or should this case have gone to trial? The Idaho murders case may be legally closed, but the debate around it isn't going anywhere. If you want to see how this case first came together, watch our deep dive on how a neighbor's tip helped investigators track down Bryan Kohberger. It's linked right here on screen. And let us know in the comments. Do you think the evidence was enough to convict, or should the case have gone to trial? Thanks for watching. And if you want more cases like this, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next investigation.